Welcome to Comically Comics, your one-stop listen to all things comics. We're talking books, movies, TV shows, video games, and more. I must forewarn you, though, we are a spoilercast, and what that means is we consider all properties, past, future, and present, to be valid, and we will spoil the hell out of them. I'm your host, Michael, along with my two co-hosts, Richard and Jeremy, and with all that being said, let's get started. All right, it is Sunday, September 29th, and we are back for another book review. This time around, we got a request from Bottom Tier Collector over on YouTube. He had read The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller and asked if we would go ahead and read it and do a review of it as well. So, here you go, Jason. Thank you for the recommendation.
Here we are.
So yes, Dark Knight Returns from 1986. Frank Miller. He does the writing and the artwork in this, does he not?
Yeah, he's the writer, the penciler, and sometimes he does some of the covers, I think.
Then he must have been really tired after writing these four.
Which I know Frank Miller artwork nowadays, those covers, they get a lot of flack. A whole lot of flack. I saw one where it was like The Thing, and then and the caption was, "Somebody needs to tell Frank Miller to stop."
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of his art, to be honest with you. I don't mind some of the Daredevil stuff. You know, we read The Man Without Fear. That was fine. But not usually a fan of Frank Miller.
I'd forgot. You know, as I was reading this or whatever, I was thinking, I was like, what other Frank Miller have I read? And I'd forgot that we actually read The Man Without Fear, that 5-issue art by him with John Romita artwork in it. And I was like, okay, that wasn't a bad story. I actually, the stuff that didn't have Elektra in it, I really enjoyed for the most part. But then my feelings were different for this. So, But Jeremy, let's see what your whelming is on this Dark Knight Returns.
Well, from the person that recommended it, obviously we're bottom tier here. I'm a person that I like to get straight to the point. And if it wasn't like for you two, this podcast, if it was just me, it'd be like done in 10 seconds. Like what I think of this, and we're done. So needless to say, I got worn out by this whole series. It's like, holy cow, I can't follow what's going on half the time in this thing. Like where we are in this, like who's talking, what just happened. Like I end up having to go back and read the first 30 pages like 5 times trying to figure out what the heck just happened. And I'm like, this is I don't know. It was very, very difficult for me to get through this series. I will say, as an overall storyline, I was whelmed to pleasantly whelmed after trying to piece it all together and taking like however long to figure out what the heck's happening. With that, and kind of going along with what Richard said with the artwork with Frank Miller, I was not crazy about this artwork. I mean, it was good in some places, but others, like it just felt kind of garbled and trying to depict on what sometimes I'd get kind of confused on who we're looking at. They'd almost look a little similar here or there, but yeah, it just, once I got to the 4th one, I was like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I need to finish it and I need to see what happens. For everything together, as far as the artwork and the storyline, I'm just whelmed.
Okay.
Question: What did you like the 4th one? Because the reason I ask is the 4th one is typically everybody's favorite part of the entire story.
Yes, because it was just the end.
That's funny.
And curtains closed.
Yes. Like I liked obviously finally seeing the everything come around, but at the same time, I will say I'm not crazy about the ending. I will say that, like, and we can kind of get into that as we get closer, but yeah, it was okay.
Yeah. Well, the good news is there are 2 more of these. and they're worse than this.
I started to, because I have the whole Dark Knight in like single issue form. And unfortunately, I did not read any of this in that form. And then I started to get the Dark Knight. I can't remember. Is it the Dark Knight Strikes Again? That's what it is. That's the second volume.
The second one. Yes, Dark Knight Strikes Again, and then it's Dark Knight 3, The Master Race.
Right. And the Master Race is actually really recent. Like 2015, if even that. Was it 2020? Like it's really recent.
I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was about 8 years ago.
That sounds about right. Because it was before COVID.
Oh, yeah. Way before COVID.
Yeah. So, like, that's how recent that one was. And I have all that. I was buying that as it was coming out. But I have not read any of it until now.
I hate the sequel. At least, I'll be honest with you, I don't think Frank Miller did a lot of writing for Dark Knight 3, The Master Race. I feel like, was it Brian Azzarello? I think is the one that helped him with it. I think he did most of the writing, so it's way more coherent. but 2 is just is Grandpa Miller okay? Maybe we need to stick him in a home kind of thing. I don't know how old he was when he wrote that, but it's batshit insane. It's crazy. Dark Knight Strikes Again.
I've heard a lot of people say that, where like Strikes Again is like not anybody's like reading list.
Yeah, no, it is so incoherent.
Well, I'll say like I'll probably not probably. I will not be reading the next 2.
Put that on our reading list. Check.
Yeah, exactly.
Richard, what is your whelming?
I think I kind of echo Jeremy with the whelming. I'm whelmed. I've read this in the past. My first reading, I didn't get any of it. Second time reading it, this is probably my second time reading it. I don't think I went back and read it after reading it the first time. But yeah, now that I'm a little bit older and understand some of the metatextual stuff, this is a lot of people say this is very timeless. I disagree. I think this is very cemented in the 80s, especially because we have Reagan. It's trying to talk about the political points of everything going back during the 80s. And yeah, I'm just not a fan of it. I especially don't like the dialogue in this story. Specifically, like Frank decided he wanted to come up with his own sort of lingo that he thought, teenagers of the future would talk. And like balls nasty, man. It's balls nasty. Like
it's terrible.
It's bad. It's bad. It's cringy. I'm not a fan of it.
I'm gonna start using that phrase.
I was gonna use it tonight. But yeah, it just the slice and dice. It makes me think of
shake and bake.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, I'm just whelmed. Art doesn't really do anything for me. There's certain iconic moments in the book that I really, really like, and we'll get to that. But for the most part, I'm just whelmed.
Cool. I am underwhelmed with an asterisk.
Okay.
Like, is that extra emphasis or like there's like
it's not an exclamation point.
he's saying he's underwhelmed, but
I'm underwhelmed, but I understand and respect what this comic and ones like it did for the comic industry.
Yeah.
And how it's affected a lot of other writers and people that were used to be into comic books at that time and then fell out and were like, oh, comic books are for kids. I heard that a lot. You know what I mean? Where it was like, there was a time when people were like, comic books are just for kids. And it was like this, Watchmen, Sandman, books like that were like, no, fuck that. Comic books are not just for kids.
Yeah, this elevated the medium.
Right. To an adult level.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I respect it for that.
Right.
I respect it for, like, what it branched out and helped pave the road for.
Yeah.
But as for the story, no.
I absolutely echo what you're saying. Like, that is, yeah, absolutely.
But as far as, like, the story, no, fuck this. This is, no. Like, originally why I wanted this is because I caught wind of a story where Batman beat Superman. And I was like, fuck yes, sign me up for this 100%. And it was this story. And so that's when I started collecting the issues of this. And then like now having read it, I'm like,
it's a bait and switch. I think they know that because like you come for the Batman Superman fight because everyone hears that like Batman fights Superman in it. And then you're getting into these weird mutant gangs and there's all this weird political stuff like Reagan's in it. And you're like, what the fuck is that? I just want to see Batman punch Superman.
100.
Well, see, and like, okay, I'm sure y'all probably told me that this is one of the ones where the Batman fought Superman. I didn't necessarily know that was or remember that was going to be happening.
Mm-hmm.
But and then whenever I guess maybe I'm kind of getting too far ahead, but whenever they brought the Joker in doing all that, like I thought that was going to be the big thing. And then it just was just blah. It was done. And I was like, well, that sucked. Like that just, I don't know. It was just, there was no, I don't know. It seemed like to me, there were 3 big main battles and all of them combined probably lasted 30 seconds. To me, it didn't seem like there was much to do with them.
Yeah. Yeah. They definitely felt like villain of the week. The big boss battles at the end of each of one of these issues definitely felt like villain of the week for me.
Yeah. They are with the titles of each book. Like the first one's The Dark Knight Returns. So it's like him coming out of retirement. Then the next one, was it Dark Knight Triumphant? It's him defeating the mutant
leader
guy. And then the next one is Hunt the Dark Knight, which is like the Joker story. And then the last one is, what is it? The Dark Knight Falls. And it's kind of like the end of it, but it's not because, like we said, Frank continues on 2 more stories. I really want to go back, though, 1 second when you were talking about it elevating the medium. This was Frank Miller at the time. 60s Batman was going on. And in the comics, Batman was more jokey and hammy. So this was Frank Miller making a dark and gritty kind of like reboot of Batman. And this influenced the 1989 Batman movie. This is what gave, I can't think of his name right now, the director, Edward Scissorhand. What's his name?
Oh, shit.
Tim Burton?
I know who you're talking about.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Tim Burton.
I know. Hey, we're gonna give you all the... I'm going to give you all of them. That's awesome.
Right? It's like we rubbed off on you.
That influenced that movie. I'll point out some other stuff. There are stuff that influenced a lot of Zack Snyder's BVS movie, even Christopher Nolan. There's a lot of stuff that influenced his movies from these. Yeah. So it is very influential, this book. And like you said, I understand its place in history. But that all being said, I don't like Frank Miller's writing a lot in this.
Yeah, I mean, I'll even throw, and I'm sure there's more than that, you know, what you were just saying. But like one of the ones that I noticed that kind of shocked me a little bit was the Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Took influence.
Yes, that's another one
from this as well. And I was like, that came out of nowhere. I was like, where the fuck? What?
Yep.
Cool. Y'all want to go ahead and dive into this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's start off with book 1, The Dark Knight Returns. Bruce Wayne is living the retired rich life. However, the city seems to be getting closer every day to a takeover by a group called the Mutants. It's the release and relapse of Bruce's friend Harvey Dent, though, that pushes him out of retirement. We're talking about movies. One of the lines here, there was a cop saying, you're in for a treat. Bruce is going after Harvey Dent, and they notice Batman coming through, and an older cop is telling a younger cop, oh, you're in for a treat. Like that line was used in the Dark Knight movie with
Dark Knight Rises.
Thank you. Dark Knight Rises. Yes.
With Burn.
But yeah, I noticed that when reading that. I was like, oh, cool. There's one right there. Yeah, I think that was one of the things is reading through this. This is one of the only times where I've realized how much this has influenced so many movies that I have actually enjoyed watching throughout the years. Just this one piece right here.
Yeah. Also, to add to that, Zack Snyder's BVS, the scene, the infamous scene of the Waynes getting murdered and the pearls dropping.
Yep.
Snyder has it where the gun is caught on the necklace, but in this one, it's his hand that's caught on the necklace. But it's almost an exact like Snyder's is an exact like recreation of a lot of this when they're leaving. I believe it said, I can't remember now when we watched it, but I believe when they're leaving, it has the Mask of Zorro playing in the background. And yeah, anyway, it's pretty cool seeing that, how he, recreated that. I'm curious. I really want us now, since what y'all like kind of getting y'all's whelmings on this, we need to read Batman Year One, because that's Frank Miller's rebooting. He did this, and then I believe a couple of years later he did Year One, which is he rebooted. He made it Frank Millerized, but the origin of Batman.
Yeah.
It's very similar to kind of when he returns on this one. The bat crashes through the glass pane and stuff like that.
No, yeah, I'd be down for that.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Frank Miller writes it though?
Yes. I will. Yeah, exactly. I will say this. It's more like, in my opinion, it's more like the Man Without Fear. It's more convoluted. Like, it makes more sense the way he did it. It's not, if we ever read All-Star Batman, that's where Frank Miller does another crazy asshole Batman. And I don't like it. I got to be honest with you. I don't think Frank Miller gets Batman, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of his Batman.
Speaking on that, one of the things that I wrote down is I don't like Bruce using the guns. I know later on that he says that they're rubber bullets. However, it doesn't go with the idea that he still has childhood trauma from his parents dying, which is like what we flesh out a lot of in this first issue.
Absolutely.
Like, he freaks out when he's getting robbed or whatever. Like, he still has trauma from this. And also, what I took away from that is this book started out as, and continued on a little bit, of Bruce wanting to die. Not even so much that like it was a Batman story, but it was a Bruce Wayne wanting to die story is what I was taking away from it as I was reading it. But with all that being said, again, I don't like the idea, and especially later on, he breaks one of the guns from the mutants, and he's like, "These are clumsy and all this other kind of stuff, and we're not going to use that. We're going to be silent. We're going to use this and precision and blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And it's like, why you got guns with rubber bullets in it then?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is at the end of, by issue 4, when he's rallying the sons of Batman, they're using guns, and he's like, "This is the weapon of the enemy. We will not use this." More than likely, Frank forgot. Like, let's be real here.
Poor Frank.
One could say that the starting of it, he's not, he hasn't honed, he's a dull blade, if you will. He hasn't sharpened those skills.
Yeah.
And he needs something to even the playing field. That's basically why he fights the mutant in the mud, is he wants to even this playing field kind of thing. But yeah, that's my sort of, I mean, if you really want an answer, that's the best I can come up with, but more than likely it's Frank forgot. It's like, oh yeah, he actually doesn't use guns. Sorry about that.
That was one of the things that I agree that threw me off too when reading it. I was like, wait a minute, like, is he actually shooting people? And I don't know, it just odd. It just weird about it.
And I feel like it wasn't even so much that he was shooting people for me. It was more just the relation of right before all that. He had that freak out moment in the alley when he was about to get mugged.
Oh, yeah.
And they were, slice and dice and shit like that.
Shake and bake.
That's what bothered me, is like, you've acknowledged that he still has that trauma, and yet he's going to go down this. No, fuck you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also makes Batman so over. Like, my wife was having a field day with me. I would read her some of these lines because she does not like Batman at all. He's so fucking dramatic. He's so fucking dramatic. It's so funny to me. Where is it? It's when he's reliving the tale of when he was chasing, as a child, he's chasing after a rabbit and he falls down a hole, which is another thing from the Nolan movie.
Yeah.
And the lines are like, gliding with ancient grace, unwilling to retreat as his brothers did, eyes gleaming, untouched by love or joy or sorrow, breath hot with the taste of fallen foes, the stench of dead things, damned things. I was like, he does know that bats eat bugs, right? They don't eat people. The one bat that does, like, goes up on like calves and cuts like a little scratch on it and then like sucks at the blood. It's not like a fucking like demon.
I wonder if he like missed his calling of maybe he should have written these like spicy books that women read.
Oh, the romance novels, the like trashy romance novels.
Yeah.
Female erotica.
There you go. Yeah, we see Alfred in this. I was like, how fucking old is Alfred? Right. Because Batman's supposed to be 55 at the end of this. And I was like, how fucking old is Alfred?
He's got to be 90.
Yeah.
There's no way he's
Yeah.
a day younger than 90.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. I'll get to, because that's another gripe of mine. He just, Alfred's gone. And like, he just, did he know the plan or did he just like, I don't know. That was another gripe of mine at the end. And we can get to there if we want, when we get to the fourth one. But yeah.
I love me some sassy Alfred, though. There's some great, where's one where he's like, Batman is sitting in his like armoire chair in front of the fire, drinking like brandy or something. I forget what he's drinking, but he's like, will that be all, Master Bruce? I'm hoping the next generation of the Wayne family shan't face an empty wine cellar, though given your social schedule of late, the prospects of there being a next generation. And he's like, that he interrupts Alfred and he's like, that will be all, Alfred. Thank you. Good night.
Which translates to, for all this shit before, time to go to bed, old man.
There's another moment I'm trying to find. I think Alfred's like working on Batman after he did some Batmaning for the first night after he's returned. And he's like, if it's suicide you're after, Master Bruce, I have the recipe for an old family potion. It's slow in working and quite painful. You'd like it. So what did you think of Joker in this first one? You see him for a few times. I wrote, my note was, why so serious?
I honestly didn't make any notes towards it. I honestly, I can't even recall seeing it. So now I'm going to go look back while Jeremy answers.
Well, yeah, I saw him and I was like, wait, is that him? I wasn't like 100% sure, but I was like 90% sure.
Really? He had the green hair and everything.
Well, I know, but I didn't want to like, I didn't want to assume.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed all right. We got his. Didn't we get like his name in this one too? Did they give him a name? Oh, I thought they did, or something close to that. But yeah,
No one would dare touch on something like that at this point in time.
well, apparently they did in the movie.
And Alan Moore did, which we got to read that. That's a really good story.
Killing Joke?
The Killing
You
Joke.
talking about
yes.
the Killing Joke?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. No. I'm good with that. Yes.
So Joker in this is just kind of like, what's the point? Batman's gone.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the same. I think it's kind of the again, we keep talking about how this inspired a bunch of things. I think it's the inspiration for Heath Ledger doing that line from Nolan's of like, like, kill you? No. What would I would do without you? You complete me, kind of thing. Yeah, I think since the Batman has been retired, Joker doesn't smile in this story. That's what it's alluding to. Is he won't even crack a smile. It's not until he sees Batman on the news, which I believe is the next issue. I may be confusing, where he says,
no, it's this one.
It's this one. Yeah, the Batman darling. Yeah, that's that where he's finally like, oh, yes, it's back to the good old days where I can, be an agent of chaos, if you will.
Speaking more on the influence that it has on the movies that we've seen, this his depiction in this looks very much like Jack Nicholson Joker.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I get, the vibes that I get. Very, I don't know, when he does that smile and just like wrinkles on wrinkles kind of thing. I'm like, oh, that looks a lot like Jack Nicholson. But yeah, nothing really spoke to me on that when he was coming out.
the last thing I love is just the last page where we see that even though, because one of the best things with Batman's Rogues Gallery is they're all sort of funhouse mirror versions of Bruce himself.
Yeah.
I love at the end where even though Harvey Dent has now been fixed, like his face has been fixed, he still sees himself as this ugly, hideous monster. And we kind of see from Batman's perspective of like, Harvey's now fully like, he's no longer Two-Face. He's just a full like deformed man in sort of the eyes of Batman. And then he sees, he mentions the line, "I see a reflection," and he sees that like demonic bat, because this is that whole like, since he is retired as Batman, he's tried to like tamp down the Batman. Like it's almost like he too has like a split personality, because there's a line in the story where he's like, you drink, you do all these things, but you can't get rid of me, Bruce. I'm always there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's obviously why the name of this first issue is called The Dark Knight Returns. I just thought that was cool. That was probably my favorite moment from this first book.
Well, I'm just glad you had a favorite moment. Jeremy, you got anything else?
No, that's all I had right now.
Book 2, The Dark Knight Triumphant. Quite simply, Batman takes on the mutant leader. That's this issue. That's this whole thing.
Yep.
Is that he takes on the mutant leader. So not Jeremy, Richard, I have to ask, what do you think of this Batman's Batmobile?
Yeah. Well, this is the other thing that I was going to point at, it inspiring Nolan, because this is the Bat Tank. This isn't the Batmobile. This is a Bat Tank. I fucking hate it. It is the worst, the worst Batmobile of all time, of all me. I hate it so fucking much.
Worse than the Tumbler?
Worse than the Tumbler.
Whoa!
Worse than, I think I ranked the Batman and Robin Batmobile worse than that. So like, it's worse than that.
Oh, wow.
Because like, this one just looks like a tank that just so happens to have a weird shape that looks like the front head of a bat. Like, this is just a tank. And at least the other ones had some bat-like aesthetics to it. But yeah, I hate, I don't like, this is also, we'll get into this argument, Michael. I don't like this Batman. Like, I don't like the short ears, the jacked, like, looking Batman where he doesn't even look like he could fit through a fucking doorway. Like, I do not like this Batman.
Oh, this is everything I want in Batman as far as physique. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, but see, like, it's, I would say with the physique of it, I could see that where, like, he's supposed to be very nimble and, like, ninja-esque. You're not going to be just clumsing around. Like, I mean, you're going to, like, just be trying to get in some narrow doorway, and then all of a sudden you knock over, like a gargoyle or something on one of these things or something. Like, it's just not going to happen. So, I mean, I could do.
Just because he's this big doesn't mean he's a meathead.
He's a bit of a meathead in this. I'll be honest with you.
I apologize. I interrupted you, Jeremy. Please continue.
Oh no, you were fine. I mean, but I have to concur with Richard on that. As far as like he's supposed to, I don't know. Like the suit itself doesn't bother me. I like it. I guess the ears aren't. And some of them they look like little nubbins, but other ones they look pretty good.
Oh, nubbins for the win.
But yeah, with how big he is, I'm just like, that's a little much.
Okay, so since we're still on the physique of Batman, I do have a question for y'all. This issue has a pretty notorious cover. So what do y'all think of like constipated Batman cover?
Oh, the like beaten down, like he's just fought the mutant leader.
Oh, he's trying to push one through like a freaking keyhole right now. Like there's.
Don't be gross, Tammy.
I mean, he even looks like he's like shivering too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you finally get out and you're like, woo.
Yeah, no, I hate it. I hate I don't like Frank Miller's Batman at all. Full stop. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Like,
But see, this also kind of goes back to my point where like you gave your summary in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, this book is like 50,000 pages long.
I actually looked it up. I did the math because I was trying to figure out to make sure I read all of the stuff before.
Wait. Do we have this like books like kind of runtime?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was getting to. It's actually, if you skip all of the like covers, and if you're reading the like trade paperback and you're skipping all the like covers, and then it's telling you this is this issue's name, it's 184 pages.
Yeah, it's 50,000. Yeah, it's just like there's so many random things, and it's just so hard to kind of keep track of like where we're going. But I will say too, like the fat bat symbol, like that one really bugs me.
Yeah, well, this is the same. It's the same one that Snyder uses in BVS. That fat bat.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, that's true. On his chest and everything.
Yeah, that leads me into when one of the mutant gang members is taking someone hostage, and they have this like heavy duty belt fed machine gun. Batman busts through the wall and grabs the guy and then grabs the gun. That is from Snyder's BVS moment with Martha, him saving Martha. Like, it's just recreated.
Yeah.
Yep. I would even go as far to say, like, this could have influenced the breaking of the back. You replaced the mutant leader with Bane?
Oh, you're talking about in Nolan's movie?
Right.
Or are you talking about actually like Nightfall?
More so Nolan's movie than the actual Nightfall, because like they did, like, Bane's character is super, super intelligent. Like, yes, he's big and he's super strong, but like he's like good competition intelligence for Batman. Whereas this mutant guy is not. But just the fighting and all that jazz, you could make an argument that this would be, you know, if you were to do it nowadays, that would be Bane instead of a mutant leader kind of deal there. Even the comment fights like a young man, like that's in here as well. So, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
I definitely think Bane would have been a better villain than the mutant leader, but Bane wasn't even around at this point in time. Like, he wasn't even thought of.
Yeah. I hate the mutant leader. I hate his sharp teeth. I hate he looks like Krang's robot. Like, just put Krang in his tummy and he looks like that guy. He's got like a lamprey mouth. I don't fucking like it. It's his design. He's got weird like pierced nipples. I just fucking hate everything about the mutant leader.
There's a lot of weird nipple stuff in this book.
Oh, really? I only noticed one. What are the other ones?
So, well, I guess in book 3, you get Nazi nipples.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Nazi boobs. What
swastika nipples.
Yeah, anyway. That I was gonna get into that. Like, what the fuck is this design, Frank?
Well, you do get in this one. It's what is it? Oh crap! Where what's his face? Is it the mayor or governor? They're in their little sauna together.
Mm-hmm.
So you do get his saggy body there. So.
I'm offended.
We get introduced to I would say a pretty decently big character in this book right here. First appearance of Carrie Kelly,
yes,
who becomes the first female Robin. First female Robin.
I think she's the only female Robin.
Oh no, Stephanie. Oh shit! Spoiler.
Was she a Robin?
Batgirl. She became Stephanie Brown. Stephanie Brown was a Robin at one time.
I didn't know she was a Robin. My bad.
Oh shit! I think there was another one too. I think there was 3.
Once we get past Tim, I kind of forget all the other Bat Family people.
Oh no! Yeah, there's
so many.
It gets ridiculous.
Yeah, a spoiler. I didn't realize she was a Bat. I mean, a Robin. Well, never mind then. Yeah, she's the first ginger female Robin.
So does that mean if she ever comes to movie?
She already has. It's already happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's been cast as a person of color, and I think it's Gotham Knights or something. I forget what it is.
But that's funny.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's yet another ginger. She's on that list. It's fucking weird, man. It's just gingers too. It's so weird.
Oh man.
That's funny. What did y'all think of this Robin?
I mean, I was okay with it. It didn't seem like that, unless I just completely overlooked it. There didn't seem like a good segue into her being Robin. It just was like, oh, cool, you're my new Robin. I'm like, wait, what just happened?
I mean,
so
that's typically how it goes in the Batman.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like who was it? Is it Tim that stole the wheels off the Batmobile? And Batman's like, hey.
Oh, that was Jason.
Is it Jason? I thought it was Tim.
Yeah.
Was it Jason? Anyway, he's like, hey, kid, you want to be my new Robin? Come on.
Okay. Well, then I guess it's just par for the course then. But I mean, I thought that she was pretty cool. They definitely had a shake and then bake moment, kind of like
Shake and bake.
yeah. So I think they did all right on that.
The ball's nasty.
Yeah.
I don't care for her. I really don't. She seems like Marcy from Peanuts. That's who I get every time that I
really
read.
Fucking dating yourself there.
That's fine. just yes, sir. Yes, boss.
All
Things
of our-
like that.
All of our young listeners are like,
Who?
Yes, Marcy Peanuts. Come on now.
They're
Charlie
like-
Brown.
they're like, is that a singing group? Is that like a K-pop band? The Peanuts?
But and then like it bothered me that Bruce called her boy at some point until like I think it was in like issue 4 or book 4. He called her boy, and I'm like, she's clearly not a boy.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I don't
Old
know.
man Batman?
Yeah, exactly. He's had too many concussions over the years, and he's drank too much, and he's taken too many pain pills, probably.
And even Alfred was like, Master Bruce, are you sure about it? He's like, oh, fuck off, Alfred.
Yeah,
I know what
exactly.
I'm doing. It's like, no, you don't.
Yeah, I like Carrie Kelly fine. It isn't until I want to say it's the Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, where I like her. I didn't really like her in this, especially because like the whole point of this, like I said, was making Batman less of a joke. And she's like using slingshots, and she's very childish, even though she's supposed to be like a college student. And I don't know, it's just weird. Not a fan, I guess, of her in this, but I am a fan of her in general, I will say.
Got you.
Yeah, so we've mentioned the shake and bake. The
Shake and bake.
I don't know if y'all read the like 30th anniversary trade paperback, but in it at the beginning of it has Brian Azzarello interviewing Frank, and he talks a little bit about why he did that. And supposedly he said, this is Brian saying this, but he's like, that was Batman taking a lot of punishment in that one. He's referring to when he's fighting the mutant. And then Frank says, Mr. T was a real popular figure at the time. Brian says, Clubber Lang. Frank says, and I patterned his speech as close to Mr. T as I could. Brian replies, wow. Frank says, I know, I came up with the mutant colloquialism from Lynn Varley, who colored The Dark Knight. There was a language she and her brother had amongst themselves that fascinated me, so I had all the mutants speak that way. And I don't know, like, I know Frank's saying that, but I'm like, is that really true? Because nobody fucking talks like that, Frank. Like, nobody fucking talks like that.
I mean, was this like a set of twins that he got this from, where they were like, you know, beep, bop, boop, boop, and shit like that, and they just knew what each other were saying?
What?
Have you not heard of that? Where like twins will have their own like, or siblings if they're really
Oh,
close in
yes, I
age,
have
they'll
heard of
have
that.
their own like language that they each can speak.
Yeah, no, I have heard that. I like that, or not like that. I understand that. I doubt that's where he got it. I really do think just he thought this is how people would talk.
Well, I mean, to be honest, the way that some of this
Skippity.
younger yes.
Oh,
What is some of this generation talks? I'm like, what the heck did y'all just say?
Bunch of fucking Ohios.
It's like they're trying to speak to me. I know it. Like,
Y'all sound so old right now.
I know.
Whatever. I'm Sigma on this bitch.
Oh my god. Skibbity toilet. Okay. Oh, our younger listeners, if we have any, are cringing right now. And that is no cap. We could just go on all night.
Oh, yeah.
I love that the mutants are kind of. Did any of y'all see the? I know Jeremy did because I've known Jeremy for forever. But like, have you seen the Chronicles of Riddick movie, Michael?
I have not.
Really? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, there's these characters in the Chronicles of Riddick movie called the Necromongers. They have this line about like you keep what you kill kind of thing. And the mutants are very much like that. Once Batman has defeated the mutant leader, they're all in on Batman. There's no like someone else is going to rise to power and be the new leader. They're just like, nope, he's defeated it. It's you keep what you kill. We now listen to Batman.
Yeah, but it was only like they fractioned off, and that was a little confusing to me because
Yes,
I was
they
like,
did.
why? You had some that went with like swastika nipple lady. You had
Nazis?
some right. You had some that stayed muties, and then you had the other ones that went to Son of the Bat.
Yeah. You also had some, I think, didn't they dress up like Nixon or something? I can't remember.
Oh, there were some like thieves or robbers or whatever
Yeah.
that wore Nixon masks. Yeah.
Yeah, the weirdest one is we'll just need to get to that. I'll finish up here and then we can get to that. I do like there's one point, this is my favorite page, I guess, is when Batman has captured a mutant and he's trying to interrogate him and he's high up on a building and there's the line of like, I don't think you understand the situation. You are not in the position to negotiate. Let me show you. And then he's like, it reveals like Batman's hands move away from his eyes. And then he's like, I don't know, like 20 stories up. And the mutant guy's
Right.
like, wah! That was a cool moment that to me, I'm like, that's a very Batman moment. At least Frank got that right.
Yeah. I think it's drawn well too. Some of his artwork's questionable.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for issue 2. I have a bunch of stuff, but we'll just move on for the sake of getting to issue 3 to talk about this. This right off the bat.
Schwashnips?
Yeah.
Book 3, Hunt the Dark Knight. Batman fights a neo-Nazi woman with swastikas for nipples. Joker gets out of Arkham and does what the Joker does. A fight between Bruce and Clark is set up.
So let's paint a picture for our audience here real quick about this. So we're just in Gotham. There's a looks to be like a liquor store, and it's being robbed by 3 people, 2 dressed up like Nazis. They're wearing the like Jodhpur pants, and they've got like the red Nazi patches on their arm. They're even wielding the kind of gun that the Nazis used. And then there's a woman who's, I don't know, 8 feet tall, flat top hair, completely shirtless, no clothes on, with swastikas over her nipples, and wearing assless chaps with swastikas on her ass,
Yes.
robbing this liquor store. And then it's revealed that Batman is in disguise as an old bag lady, which I wrote the note bag man ? I also was like, is this where Damien gets it from when he dresses up? This is where Damien gets it from. But yeah, and then proceeds to beat up these thugs as an old bag lady. And I was just like, what the fuck, Frank? What the fuck?
You missed the gloves that went up above her biceps.
I'm sorry. Yes. Sorry.
Right.
She did have one article or 2 articles of clothing. Yes, she has sleeves. What are those long gloves that go up to her biceps? That's about it.
Very
though.
sophisticated.
Yes. Like, what the fuck? I was just like, what kind of fucking fever dream is this?
Right. No, I think this is at the point because we're constantly throughout this book doing like newscasts and stuff like that as well. And I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done with this freaking gross, grody looking costume that Batman has because this bag lady looks horrendous.
Yeah.
Absolutely positive. She belongs in a horror book. Yeah, she's bad.
Yeah, I thought it, like, originally reading it when I saw it, I was like, is that supposed to be Scarecrow or something?
And then this is when the Son of the Bats come in and they've got like, they're white, but they have like these blue bats on their faces as well. And I'm like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I give up. I concede.
Yeah, the one thing I forgot to mention at the start of all this is also at the time it hadn't happened and it was starting to happen during the 80s, but America started getting 24-hour news cycles. So that's what this kind of is. Every time you see like talking heads on a TV, this is Frank's like meta commentary on like of the time of these 24-hour news cycles of like reporting on like horrible things to get ratings, almost like fetishizing like horrible things to keep viewers watching and doing all this.
Yeah, I got you.
That's why it's going on during all this. Yeah, I hate like the Sons of the Batman. Get them the fuck out of here. I hate them.
Yeah,
I don't like them
I
at
don't
all.
like that.
What do y'all think of the new commissioner of Gotham after Gordon finally stepped down?
So that was going to be one thing I was curious about too. I mean, because that was also like part of the story in the first 2 issues as well, like him figuring out his life or whatever there.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't really see how this, even and reading all 4 of them, I'm like, I don't see how this has any kind of effect necessarily. I mean, slightly, but it just doesn't. I'm like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't do anything to the story to change it that much. It doesn't add value to the story to me, in my opinion. So I don't know. I was wondering if they were going to do more about with the new commission, like her being maybe trying to get at Batman or being some kind of like double agent type thing or something, but nothing really ever came. Like, it just was like, here she is and figure it out. Like, I don't know.
I feel like it was there to add more. Is Batman going to get caught? Kind of like in between the stories, the space in between. You have this new commissioner.
No, we'll get flagged.
This commissioner who's like out to get Batman, who's like out to make a name for herself, kind of thing. Like, that's all I felt like it was there for, and I didn't need it. I really didn't.
Yeah.
So, because, yeah, there's a cool fight scene on his way to the Joker, who's in a talk show, but did I really need that, though?
I forget where, but there's a moment where Gordon is telling her about, like, kind of the point of Batman, and it's not until, I think, the next issue where the planes are crashing, and, you know, they say something about like, hey, we've got a shot on Batman. And she's like, no, he's too big or something like that. It's implying that there's a point to Batman in Gotham. And I think she's just almost like a ride along character for her to realize that. Like, Gordon already knows that. Gordon also, I love that in this one, Gordon knows that Bruce is Batman. He's just like, yeah, you thought you could fool me, but like, I'm the fucking commissioner. Like, I used to be a detective Batman. Like, I knew you were Batman from like, I don't know, day one, like kind of thing. Because it's when they're drinking together. I think it's in issue 1 where he's talking about how like, yeah, you used to put like ginger ale or something and you'd like slur your words and it'd fool everyone, but not me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's kind of the point of her story, is just her coming to realization as the new commissioner, the point of Batman for it. He's someone to inspire the city for hope.
Yeah.
For fighting back.
Yeah.
There's we get a little bit of taste of Superman in this. Like in one of the issues, there's like a voicemail from Superman. But Superman's flying through the city, cleaning up some of the crime. At one point, it's when he attacks the Nazi lady with the like assless chaps or whatever. But anyway, there's a woman. I think it's a woman. Anyway, there's someone at like a newsstand, and it's like got comic books. There's a little swamp thing that's like being blown away. I specifically circled it to make sure. Excuse me, it wasn't a woman. It looks like a Native American man.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
That's not a Bernie Wrightson cover.
I love his like perfect pose thing, Bruce in the background when he's just like got his little button-up shirt or whatever. Like
I was
it's
like,
what is this?
I wrote I think my wife mentioned this when I showed her that image, but she was like, "Is that the prince from Little Mermaid?"
Oh shit! What was his name? I can't remember it now. That's funny
Eric.
though. Yes, yes. Look at you. You don't even have girls.
2 for 2.
I know. What? Maybe another one. Where is it? Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. Fuck Clark.
So yeah, there you mentioned it inspiring the Joker, the movie. They bring Joker because this one doctor that's kind of been on the news debating with Lana Lang is going to bring Joker on television and prove to the world that he's now rehabilitated. They bring them on David Letterman. It's clearly David Letterman. I forget what they call him, but it's clearly David Letterman.
Yeah.
And then Joker, kills everybody.
Which that was another one too, where like his size, that's insane. Like he's like Batman size, basically. Like his build. I was like, what is that?
I don't
like
know if he's really that big, because when we saw him earlier, I think it's the suit. Because I wrote Zoot Suit Joker.
I was gonna say this is the 80s. That blazer's got shoulder pads.
Massive shoulder pads.
Not only does he kill everybody, but he also like plants a smooch on the lady that was another guest on the show, which is what Joaquin Phoenix does in the Joker movie as well.
Yes. I forgot about that. Yeah, it's supposed to be Dr. Ruth from way back in the day. She was a sex like expert. That's why, and she had like an accent, so that's why she's like talking about and Zex.
Yeah.
There's that weird. I thought that was the toy maker. Did you think that was the toy maker, Michael? It turns out I looked it up. It's just some guy. I forget his name, but I thought that's who that was supposed to be, making those little the big fat man that's like making the dolls that help Joker escape.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I thought that as well. That it was a toy maker. That just made sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then I couldn't remember if there was a character named Dollman. And so, because I thought there was, and I thought he was a Batman Rose character as well. And so I was like, maybe that's who he is.
Mm-hmm.
But it honestly just didn't matter anymore because I was done.
That's funny. We get I know you don't like Superman, but we get the Frank Miller's recreation of Action Comics #1, where Superman's lifting the tank over his head. In Action Comics #1, it's a car, I think.
Yeah.
But I thought that was cool. It at least looked pretty decent there.
No, yeah, I think it's a good depiction. Superman's swole.
Selena looked rough.
Yeah, she did.
I was like, woo.
Right? Right?
Wait till you see her in the next. She shows up in Dark Knight Strikes again.
Right? No, yeah, yeah. It's bad. It's real bad.
I like, we get another sassy Alfred moment. He's talking, it's right after Clark and Bruce have a little chat, and it's basically building up to a confrontation between the two, and Alfred is talking with Bruce as they come back in. He's like, your accountants are waiting in the West Wing, sir. He's like, tell them I'm sick. He's like, shan't have to lie. That refugee charity called. He's like, write them a check. And the Committee for the Preservation of Obsessive Behavior in Middle-Aged Men, write them a check. Very good, sir. Your sense of humor is keen as ever, sir. I just wrote, I fucking love Alfred.
Yeah, Alfred is pretty on point throughout this whole series of books.
We're talking about the commissioner. She's Batman, they set up almost like a trap for Batman when the Joker is on the Tonight Show, if you will. Batman shows up in a helicopter and he drops out of the helicopter, and the new commissioner, what's her name? Yindel, I think is her name. But she's like, he can fly? Nobody can fly. And I'm like, bitch, do you not know about Superman? What do you mean nobody can fly?
We just saw him in this issue earlier on. He was flying, helping out. He was destroying planes and shit.
One of the things that is not told, and you kind of pick up on it rereading it, is in this universe, after Batman loses a Robin, he retires. And after that, the government is like, no more vigilantes, except for Superman, because Superman becomes like a stooge for the US government.
Yeah.
And Superman does do stuff, but he does it so fast that he's not technically seen. That's the thing.
Okay.
That's why the newscaster is like being cheeky about like, yeah, there was news of this happening. And she's like, did it happen faster than a speeding bullet? And he's like, Lola, not now. And then she's like, whatever, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap buildings in a single bound. Like, she's being cheeky in that moment about like, she thinks it's Superman, but nobody can really see it because he's doing it so fast.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on that at all.
Yeah, no, you don't on your second read. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I get that now. Yeah. And the whole, like, we'll get into it when we get into issue 4, but like Oliver shows up and he kind of gives you more contextual information of what happened to superheroes in this universe. And you'll get that even more as you read like The Dark Knight Strikes Again and Dark Knight 3 Master Race. There should have been more, like a little bit something there, but that's just my opinion.
I was gonna say when you got a nice big page of Superman holding up a tank, you know what I mean? Like it's a great imagery, great looking picture. But if you're trying to push a point of he's moving fast to not be detected during these wars and political battles and stuff like that, an image like that does not help move your point across at all.
Agreed. The last thing I just want to talk about is like the final moment with Joker. Well, first off, I'm sorry, but I feel like the people at Gotham, I don't care if the Bat has been like retired for, what did they say, 10 years, 20 years? If a guy with white skin and green hair is at a park handing out cotton candy, you don't fucking take that cotton candy from him. You just don't fucking do that. Who are these parents not teaching their kids? If you see a guy with green hair, you turn around and you run the other way.
He didn't look like a mutant.
Okay, all right. he didn't look balls nasty.
Yeah.
Shake and bake.
But yeah, what did y'all think of the final confrontation? This is very polarizing for a lot of people. Some people love this final battle between the Joker and the Batman. Some people hate it.
I don't know. I mean, I think I was kind of in between. Like, I wasn't crazy about it, but I was also glad to see that he was okay putting an end to Joker. Like, I mean, that was kind of one of his things of like not necessarily killing anybody, quote unquote, but him realizing, of all that he's indirectly killed so many people because he's left Joker alive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's kind of funny because aren't they in the like the love tunnel, tunnel of love, whatever. So I think that's pretty funny. But yeah, so I was okay with it.
First off, this is my favorite Bat costume of the whole thing because we get the fat Bat.
Yeah.
Secondly,
Fat Bat is so bad.
oh no, it's amazing. Jeremy, I feel like you missed the part where the Joker killed himself.
Well, I think I assumed Jeremy was talking about like Batman snapped his neck, but he didn't fully kill Joker because Joker is the one who kills himself.
Yeah.
Right.
Because Joker's like, it's almost like Joker's last sort of joke, if you will, because he's like, you couldn't do it. The one time and you couldn't, like, again, I think it inspires a little bit of Heath Ledger's Joker of like, you're so incorruptible. You can't fucking kill me. So I'll just do it myself and everyone will think you did it. So it won't matter.
Right.
And then that's when I like the line of, with a devil's strength, he twists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think I did also miss that Joker did that too.
Oh,
like,
really?
And what did he break? Like, did he finish breaking his neck? I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. No. He finished breaking his neck.
Yeah. With the devil's strength, he twists and twists. What's left of his sane goes, and then it's like while he's laughing. It was lackluster for me. It was like, this is a huge, this is the Batman villain. And it finishes off like this. I almost like, I'm just going to say, I almost like Alan Moore's version of this better. I like the Killing Joke version of this better, where it's like a
ambiguous.
Did he or did he not?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But yeah, this was lackluster for me. And it felt like it was on purpose because we got the big fight of Batman v Superman in the next issue.
Yeah. I think this is also Frank Miller's, like, there's certain villains that Batman will not kill, but like, why would you let for the amount of people? Because like Bruce even says it in his like inner monologue about like, I'll add these people to the long list that you've killed, Joker, or whatever, the people that I've caught, like, by not stopping you, this is my fault, which is a big moral debate that a lot of comic book nerds and just average moviegoers who talk about Batman of like, knowing that every time Batman doesn't kill Joker, he gets put away only to be let out and murder, innocent children and women and men and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And those lives are on Batman. I think this is just Frank Miller going like, no, my Batman kills people, or not really kills people, but like my Batman would take care of the Joker this way.
Eventually.
Yeah.
In his old age.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not saying it's perfect per se, but it's still, I think I personally read into it that that's what Frank Miller's kind of saying here. I don't like it only because I like the cat and mouse of Batman and Joker, but I get that this originally was supposed to be like a one and done, but then Frank continued on with it, so it's just weird.
I was just saying, I think part of the reason why I didn't catch that Joker did that, because like Frank kept doing this weird like different color bubbles for different like dialogues and stuff, and like he had Gray as Batman, and like Gray kept going, and I don't know, I guess I just kind of lost track in all the whatever of like who was saying what and what exactly happened there. So
yeah,
I think that's part of the reason why, because Batman's inner monologue and both the dialects are all in the same color scheme, and just the same. I don't know. So that was probably the reason why I didn't catch it. And it just goes along with the like what I've been saying. It's just hard to follow on some of this stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, I won't deny that it's hard to follow. Like I said, reading it the first time, I was like, this sucks. I don't understand why people like this. Why is this revered so much? Like, it's so bad.
Yeah, I just went back and looked at the previous page, and I'm with you, Jeremy. Like, it's every word bubble is the same. It's the same color. It's the same writing. It's like not the font. Nothing is different to distinguish the difference between the Joker talking and Batman talking. So I see exactly what you're talking. And also, like, I feel like you were just exhausted by the end of this book right here, and you were done.
Yes, because I mean, there's so much that happened, and like so many different things. Like at some points, I just would do like I'm sorry, but I would do the speed read where I just like read like blips of words here or there, because I was like, this is just I'm ready to get past this, and so obviously I would miss some of the details doing that. But I mean, like, because he gives Superman his dialogues in blue, Robin's like hers is in yellow, and even Alfred, like he'll sometimes put Alfred's kind of in like that black. So it's just like, why? I mean, put it in green or something. Like, I mean, dang.
Say. Yeah, make Joker's green, make it purple, something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Book 4?
Book 4.
Book 4. The Dark Knight Falls. As do I. It's Batman v Superman. That's what we get here. Batman versus Superman. So that's what everybody came here for. And it was disappointing too.
Oh, very.
And again, it goes back to the trope of like we get Oliver Queen, who, if you're a Bozeman or whatever that's called.
Bowman,
there we go. Long bow hunter. Do a Green Arrow callback. If you're a bowman of any kind in the future, you'll only have one arm and you'll have long hair.
That's because Superman ripped it off.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's pretty fucked up.
So you may not know this. I don't know. I know Jeremy doesn't know this. The listeners may know
Poor
this,
Jeremy.
but in the comics, Green Arrow is like radically liberal. You know what I mean? Like he is super duper like a left leaning kind of ideology. And so he does not like fascists, if you will. And it's arguably that Superman is a fascist in this kind of thing. And
that's crazy. I never got that from.
oh yeah.
like-
Oh no, absolutely. Especially if you read
Wow.
the Green Lantern, Green Arrow stuff, because Green Lantern is a space cop. He's essentially like a conservative, and Green Arrow is
Yeah.
like the liberal. So it's like this constant clashing of ideologies.
Oh, interesting.
So anyway, after all, again, Frank didn't do a good job. And again, after reading it a second time, you learn that when Oliver is talking with Bruce, he mentions about how like Diana went back to her island. All the other superheroes like stopped being superheroes except for Superman. And he's like, and remember, I want a piece of him, because I forget what the
Mhm.
line is, but he says something about like, I want a piece of him too. And he kind of like looks to his arm. So it's implying that Superman, how do you stop a bowman? You just rip his fucking arm off. Then he can't shoot a bow anymore. Like, or so we think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what Clark did essentially.
Huh.
yeah. I totally missed
And
that.
this is also like, I don't know, it's very, this book is very politically charged, and there is moments where even Batman is kind of like a fascist. So it has both sides of like who's right and who's wrong thing for the viewers. They leave that to like you decide kind of thing. I didn't understand that when I first read it, but yeah, on the second read I did.
I found the panda that you're talking about, and it's Oliver, and he's sitting there in a chair, got a pipe in his hand because he didn't have another one. I want a piece of him. A small piece will do for old time's sake. You know, it still hurts when it's cold, and he's got the pipe, and it's pointing towards his arm, and he's like looking towards that. He's looking in that direction, but it would be at Bruce. I see what you're talking about now. Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy. I never picked up on that.
Yeah, he either like
Never picked up.
lasered his arm off, ripped it off. I don't know. I can't remember if it's ever addressed in the sequel books. I want to say Oliver gets a robotic arm, which is funny because it's the future. And how do you show a dystopian future? You have someone miss an arm and have a robotic arm.
Exactly. I will say I love the imagery of Batman on the horse. There's a
Mhm.
statue of it. I want that statue so damn bad. It's one of those. It's one of those that I really, really want.
Yeah, a lot of people love it. It's also supposed to invoke Zorro, which is what inspired Bruce
Yep.
to be Batman. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. The horse looks great. I just don't like that Batman. I will say this. I love the belt. The utility belt is like, just, I love those like just chunky pouches.
All the pockets.
Get your Rob Liefeld on.
Yes.
Clark got messed up pretty bad from that bomb.
Yeah.
Yo, he looked rough.
Not just the bomb. He gets struck by lightning at one point, too, to add
Yeah.
insult to injury.
He deserves it.
Oh, whatever. This is also Frank doing something really weird with Superman where he can apparently absorb the solar radiation from the Earth
Is that what that is?
to like,
Oh, I did not get that.
yeah.
See,
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to figure out whenever I was reading it. And I was like, because, it tells in the story that pretty much the whole sky has been blotted out,
Yeah.
pretty much. And I'm like, well, where did this sun come from? Like, I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah. You see,
So he absorbed. Oh, so that's like for the reason of like the tree leaves falling and the
Yes.
dying.
yeah. And
Oh.
they're turning to like ash almost. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
like absorbing the solar energy to like repower himself back up.
Oh, that's just weird.
Yeah.
I
it is.
get it now.
Well, it's weird that a nuke would cause him to turn into like a zombie.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I think at the time, nukes weren't around. This was a whole new thing for everybody in the world. They didn't really know how Superman would handle that, I guess.
Hmm.
I love that line, honestly. Michael shits on Superman all the damn time. He's not my favorite, but I do like Superman, and I love the I love some of the lines here of like, I have always loved you, though I was born a galaxy away. I have always served you. The same power, the sun's power, fuels us both. You hold it here, you store it. I beg you for a suffering world, release it, mother. And he's like, you were so generous. You gave me your beautiful jungle. I swear your adopted son will honor you. I like that. Superman is, even though he was born from Krypton, he sees this Earth as his home. And anyway, he's saying to like Earth, like, thank you for giving me this power, and I will use it to, right the wrong here, which is,
Yeah.
I guess, dealing with the Ruskies and then eventually dealing with Batman.
Yeah, no, fuck Clark. And fuck his suit too. The idea that his suit gets brighter, like I understand that him filling it out and it getting bigger, but like it get brighter as he take it on. No.
Yeah, it's inconsistent because when he gets blasted the first time and he's like just floating up and it's like at the like pink sky with the lightning bolts, it's bright there.
Yeah.
And then he gets
Yeah.
struck with lightning and it's bright there. And then as he's falling to Earth, it's bright. It's only until he lands on the ground that it's like gray again.
Right. I mean, it's to make, that impact of like him
Yes.
coming back. I get it, but
Well, especially when it has like, it just shows the S, the Superman
Mhm.
S. And he's like,
yeah.
your adopted son will honor you. There's a moment where Batman literally quotes Judge Dredd. It's when he's trying to recruit the sons of the Batman, and he breaks the gun and he's like, this is the work of the enemy. And he says, tonight we are the law. Tonight I am the law. I was just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
all right, Judge Dredd.
All right. So what did y'all think of this Batman Superman fight?
I agree. It is very lackluster and just, I don't know, kind of a cop out. Like, I don't know. It was just where he was doing this whole inner monologue of like it being the end of them and both of them and all this kind of mess. And then he has apparently taken something to just stop his heart. And I'm like, well, that's just, you just wanted to do this just to say you could possibly beat him, but like nothing really come of it. I don't.
He takes a blue pill. We see it earlier in one of the panels. He's like taking a blue pill. And I'm like,
Which
what?
means something totally different.
Yeah,
these
no,
days.
exactly. Like, yeah, no, I was like, what exactly are we about to do with Superman here? Like, is that a Viagra pill?
Don't be gross, Tammy.
No, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I love that point of like it's the ultimate fuck you, Clark. I can if I wanted to.
Yeah, well, it is. So the point of this story is I will, but then again, when we read the next issues, Frank Miller undoes everything that he does in this story. But the point of this story was supposed to be, how you mentioned Batman is looking for a good death kind of thing. This is the
Bruce,
death.
yeah, but yeah.
Well, no, this is Batman looking for a death, not Bruce. This is Batman looking for a good death. That's the point of the story at the very end when he's like, this will be a good life, good enough. Batman is dead now, technically, at the end of this. The sons of the Batman will carry on.
Right.
Batman will teach them to be a force for justice, but Batman is gone. And this
Yeah.
is a way for him to lay low again, to no longer be Batman, but just work from the shadows.
Yeah.
That was the point of him faking his death, is to get the government off of him.
Right.
And
Right.
the thing I love, I have to mention it. I love it's when Oliver shoots the arrow, Superman catches it, which is a cool moment, and then it explodes into gas. And it's very, again, Zack Snyder kind of uses it, but it's grenades in his movie. I forget the line, but it's somewhere where he talks about like, it's time you learn what it means to be a man, and he punches him. And he's talking as he's like beating on Clark. He says, I want you to remember it, Clark. In all the years to come, in your most private moments, I want you to remember my hand at your throat. I want you to remember the one man who beat you. And I think what Frank Miller's trying to, this is the way I've always took it. And it's Frank Miller talking, like, it's Batman telling Clark of like, I'm a human. You're Superman. You can fly. You can pick up buildings and stuff like that. I have to think and plan out every single moment to make sure nobody gets killed. I know that's contradictory because a lot of people die because of this, but just bear with me on this train of thought of like, that's what it means to be human. What it mean, not like what it means to be man as far as man and female, but what it means to be human. Of like, we are mortal, and it's time you learn that moment. So I think that's the point of like, I came this close to killing you, the unkillable man, and it's now time you understand that.
Right. No, it's definitely what are you without your powers? This is me because I am who I am. But what are you without your powers? Moment.
Yeah,
I totally agree with what you're saying.
Yeah. But yeah, and then of course
making him man.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, and then of course the end is very weird where Carrie is like dressed up as one of Bruce's long lost cousins, if you will, and then Clark hears the heartbeat starting again, and then he kind of just winks at Carrie.
Yeah.
Kind of knowing that like Bruce tricked him kind of thing, which I love because I like where Superman and Batman are actually friends and not at each other's throats, because I think it's just fucking stupid that they would fight. But yeah, and then it ends with it's a weird ending where like this is the future for Gotham, these weird shaved head Krang looking motherfuckers. Then Frank undoes everything and just Batman comes back and Dark Knight strikes again, and then he's just fully back in Dark Knight 3.
Thanos is it.
Yeah,
I'll do it myself.
It's fucking stupid. Sorry, one last thing. The thing that I wrote in, I think I wanted to mention it. When Batman goes and rallies the mutants, the sons of Batman, I just wrote, they're like the fucking minions, like with Gru. It's like, tonight we steal the moon, and they're like, like it's just the same energy.
Banana.
It's so fucking weird. Just because Jeremy mentioned it, we never actually talked about it. Yeah, Alfred dies.
Yes. Yeah.
And I wrote Alfred, no.
Yeah. Which, I mean,
It's about time.
did he know that was the whole plan?
No. Well, I mean, he knew. I think
to have a stroke and die.
he took his stroke pill. Well,
Yeah,
we
he
didn't
took the
see
red
that
pill.
part, but yeah, he took the yeah.
Did he know like maybe Bruce was going to be coming back?
He definitely knew the plan because he was on the computer programming the like self-destruct sequence. I think it was more of the house is now destroyed, so the housekeeper, if you will, he dies. So that's why he's like, oh, I guess this is fitting, and then just drops dead kind of thing. But like Michael said, he's got to be 90. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
I think it was one of those moments where Frank Miller was like, what the fuck do I do with this?
yeah, I do too. I think like Frank was like, especially again, this was supposed to be just a one and done thing of like, well, I don't want to have like Alfred should die here. So like, I would have preferred a moment of like Bruce mourning him, being at a gravesite, something, but I guess there wasn't enough time.
I was thinking about too is like, because he just died while Bruce was quote unquote dead, like Alfred did. So I mean, he didn't know until he came back to that Alfred was dead. But yet Bruce doesn't even acknowledge it.
Yeah.
No point.
I guess. Not that he raised him at all, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
There every
So
twist and
heartless.
turn.
He was mouthy there at the end. Bruce had enough.
Yeah. So, but no, that's all I had too.
Yeah, same.
With this book being like you were saying earlier, it's a very revered book. It's one that's very popular. A lot of people say you should read this kind of thing. Does this book stand the test of time? Do y'all recommend anybody read this book?
No, and not unless you just need something to help you get to sleep.
Damn.
I don't know. I mean, no. Yeah. I was going to try and save it, but no.
That's funny.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Richard?
To ask, does this book stand the test of time? it's almost 40 years old now, so the answer is yes. Do I like it? No. A lot of people say that, it is kind of timeless, but I don't see what they mean by that. I feel like it's very cemented in the 80s, especially with like David Letterman and Dr. Ruth and Ronald Reagan and the whole Red Scare and the Cold War, everything going on in that. I feel like it's very cemented in that. But I don't know. To me, I would say no, it does not. But there is like the fact that we're talking about it 38 years from now is saying that it is.
Yeah, but I think that's a product of our nerddom, though. That's like it has lasted this long of people saying, "Oh yeah, you should definitely read that. Oh yeah, you should read that." But like I said earlier, I respect what it did for the medium, but I think that's as far as I can go with it. Respect it for the story that it is, but it's not one of my top 10 books. Like this is not going to be one of those books that I recommend people go and read and stuff like that.
Because I didn't know that this one necessarily had such the trying to get the more adult kind of readers to come back into the picture there.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was kind of where it was. So, I mean, being in that sense, like, I definitely would not recommend this to anybody that's just, like, for me, that's just barely into comics some, but not, like, into it deep. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, unless you really know about that, I just don't see, I feel like I just would tell somebody that's just wanting something to read, I would tell them this, and they'd just be like, well, I'm not coming back to you to ask like what to read.
I would recommend it because I think this is just one of those you have to read it at least once. You have to. I just think it's a required reading kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like whatever, you're back in school and you have to read, I don't know, fucking Macbeth or something like that. Like it's just one of those things you have to read. And then you just form your own opinion of it.
Yeah.
I never did any of those readings.
Do what? I'm sorry.
I never did any of those readings.
I feel bad because I debated on kind of filling you in, Jeremy, with like, hey, this was of this time. This is what was going on and everything like that. But I kind of wanted you to just go in cold because I figured we'd get more of a like, this fucking sucks kind of thing from you, which makes for a more entertaining show, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I kind of let you down, at least on that part. I think maybe you would have been probably still whelmed, if not underly whelmed, but at least you would at least understand where it was coming from.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that it would, well, I guarantee you, like, it wouldn't have changed my opinion of the book itself. I still would have just not cared. But at the same, like, I don't know. I don't think I would have gone into my thought process very much as far as like what it meant to the community.
Okay.
I feel like that was kind of my part too, is that if I was to recommend somebody read this, I would feel like I would need to sit there and give a disclaimer of like, this is not your normal Batman story.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like this is a lengthy read.
I'm sorry, Michael, real quick. This is so much not a Batman story. This is the birth of Elseworlds. This started Elseworlds. This is
Really?
this is not in continuity. This is completely they made this and then they were like, well, this needs to be its own separate thing. So this became Elseworlds.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to step over there, but you reminded me. I
No,
wanted to
you're
mention
good. But I feel like it needs a disclaimer if you were to sit there and say, hey, you should read this. Because it's just not one of those casual read things. It is very much a political book. It is very much this is not, your normal Batman. This is, I don't know. There's a lot of things going on that, and a lot of subjects within it. And I don't know that it stands the test of time either. The world and the politics and all that stuff changes. And it's the way that we consume media changes. So like you were saying with David Letterman and stuff like that in the news, we're sitting there joking about young people, but they don't consume news through like TV and stuff like that and broadcasts.
No, but we do still have like the 24-hour news cycle kind of stuff. There's all sorts of acronymed networks that just have nothing but news on 24/7.
Right.
And honestly, I disagree. I think there is still like a lot of the same sort of maybe political ideologies clashing with each other even today, but albeit more extreme than they were 80 or not 80 years ago, but shit, how many years has it been now? 38 years ago.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, there you go, Jason, bottom tier collector. Thank you for giving us.
Hope you enjoyed this episode.
Y'all go check out his video on YouTube. He did a review of this as well. So y'all go show him some love on YouTube and check him out. Bottom tier collector. He is from the state of Alabama as well. So
cool.
Another, awesome reason why to go and support him. And yeah, like I said, go show him some love. Go check out that video of his review and see what you think of his thoughts on the same series, the same book.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I definitely, you told me about this off podcast, and I will go watch it because I need to, because I like hearing what other people think of stories and whatnot.
He's a big supporter of us too. So I'm
Oh,
glad
well, thank you,
he
Jason.
reached out. Right. Cool. Well, I think we have next week, we're going to try and catch up with Agatha and the Penguin. Since
Mhm.
those are going on right now. So come back. We'll be doing a couple, at least one episode of Agatha, if not two. And then, one episode of the Penguin as well. Until then, Jeremy, where can they find you at?
They can find me on Twitch under the handle Night Fury GTO, not playing Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's the wrong button. Shame. 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 And that was mostly for me.
I was hoping I was going to get one less because I knew two people tonight.
No, that doesn't affect you playing Guardians. Those are two separate things.
That's funny. Cool. What?
You know what?
Oh, I'm going to make you ask.
Okay. I have no problem asking. Have you played Guardians of the Galaxy, motherfucker?
Oh, hell yeah, I did. Chapter and a half. Got that shit down.
Jeremy, another shame for you.
I'm trying to save Nikki right now.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
Spoilers. I don't know.
Well, what chapter are you on?
I don't know.
One.
I think I got to like 6, maybe, or 7 last time. So
Okay, so you're close.
yeah.
Because I'm on like chapter, I think I just started. I'm like halfway through 8 or 9. It's one of those.
Yeah.
So-
I think I'm on 6.
Have y'all gotten to Nowhere yet?
I did.
You went through the collector's collection.
Yes, the
Mhm.
Emporium.
Yeah.
Yes, been through that.
I
Yeah,
thought that was cool.
that was cool. There's a lot of cool things in there.
Yeah. A lot
Picked up
of
a
Easter
doll.
eggs.
Yes. Richard, where can they find you at? Richard.
Who are you? If you want to contact me directly, I have an X, the platform formerly known as Twitter and Instagram, and a Threads. My handle is Night Curry, night like day and night, and Curry with a K. If you want to contact us directly, we have a Gmail. Our Gmail is comicallycomicspodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to check us out on YouTube, possibly TikTok, we'll see, and Instagram, you can check us out under the name Comically Comics Podcast. And if you want to check us out on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, you can check us out under the name Comically Comics with an X.
Awesome. You can find me on Instagram, eBay, and Shortbox at 22_comics. You can also find me on YouTube at 22comics. Thank y'all so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed as much as we did make it. With all that being said, say goodbye, Jeremy.
Bye, Jeremy.
Slice and dice, Jeremy. Slice and dice.
Holy crud. He's a sitting duck out there.
He knows what he's doing.
The law! Drop your weapon! Need blood!